Hi there everyone, Andy Bryan here. Now today I'm creating this video as I wanted to speak about living your courageous truth. Now I've got a friend that lives in Long Beach, California. Her name is Deborah Oakland and she runs a business called Living in Courage. And she speaks about how you can live a courageous life and battle through some of your fears and even the losses that you go through in your life. And over the last couple of days I've been looking at how we can live a courageous life, but more so in a place of truth and in authenticity, because in our lives we are in many ways so fearful about the judgment that other people will pass on to us when we share information, when we share knowledge. For many of you who know me quite well, you'll know that I'm very much a truth seeker. I'm a seeker of knowledge and wisdom, whether that is in the external world around us, and even seeking the truth that lives within us as well. But first of all, I wanted to speak about the external world and the environment in which we live. Because when we look at the external world, we look at all the, conspiracy theories, so to speak, and I'm one of those people that believe in many of those conspiracy theories. But I don't really want to speak about that today. I'm also one of those individuals that like to speak about natural health and well-being, because it's become something that I'm passionate about. When I first looked into natural health and well-being, I was training as a hypnotherapist, and I was amazed that my world turned upside down once I realized that you can remove pain within an instant. From that moment on, I sought out so much knowledge and information in regards to natural ways of living and being, and now I personally believe there are natural cures for many things around the world. Now, one of the reasons why I'm sharing this with you today is because, some of the information that I come across, I'm often fearing the judgment of sharing that information. Whether that be the truth about vaccines and believing that some of the vaccines that we get given cause us much harm. I fear the judgment of others who place their own fear of vaccines onto me in terms of my beliefs and my ideals. I'm also a big believer in natural cures for cancer. I believe that much of that information is being held back and constrained from us. But the reason why I'm sharing this is because for me that's become my truth. That's what I believe. And sharing this information can come from a place of fear because we don't want to be judged. We don't want to be looked upon as, people that really dislike others, that are pushing knowledge and information onto people. When the truth of the matter is, all that these people want to do, people like myself, is share the knowledge and wisdom that they've come across in order to help people, in order to help people to live a much more natural and healthy life. But the reason why I'm sharing this also is coming from a place of courage in regards to sharing this information is really key and important. But at the same time, it's important to think about sharing it from a place of love, sharing it from a place of concern, and not having any fear or of judgment placed upon you, because this is your truth, this is your knowledge, and you're not sharing it to hurt anybody else. You're sharing it because you believe this wisdom can help just one person each and every day. And if that one person can be healed, so that one person can be truly helped, or their eyes can be wide open to the world around them, then you know that you've done an incredible job by sharing this information. But also the other part of living in courage in regards to truth is also about the courage of finding your own inner wisdom. And that is a really interesting subject again. I spoke about in my previous videos about the collective ego. If we look at the world around us, we live in very much a conditioned world, a programmed world. And that's why I first spoke about some of the knowledge and information that's shared to us, because much of it comes with its own agenda, whether it's natural health and well-being, or whether it's some of those conspiracy theories and people holding back information. When you find your own knowledge and truth, it can come from that place of fear. But at that same time, when we listen to the collective ego of those around us, those people that believe certain bits of knowledge and information, then often it can drown out the voice that is within us as an individual. And the reason again that I mention that is because you want to find your individual self. You want to find your own truth that lives within you. And when we're listening to the collective voice and we don't stop for a moment, we don't seek within, then we can become lost in the world. But when it comes to seeking and finding your own true wisdom, we have the different aspects that live within us: our ego and the conditioned self, our unconscious self and our drivers and motivations, and even our unconscious fears, doubts and limiting beliefs, those suppressed emotions and beliefs that live within us. When we come from that place and we are fearful about looking within, that is because we're fearful about looking at the shadow that is within us, because it in some ways can be seen as the ugly truth. But again, if I'm honest, I don't believe it's the ugly truth at all. I believe it's the true beauty that lies within us. So when you think about living your own truth, living in courage of that truth that lives within, I want you to think about searching within to find your own truth, to find your own wisdom, and not being fearful about any judgment. And at the same time, don't be fearful about seeking that external knowledge. We all go through that place of self-inquiry, where we're inquiring about the world around us and even the world within us. And I believe it's important for each and every one of us to go through that phase of self-inquiry so that you can find your own wisdom and find your own truth. And when you truly find that place within, only then do I believe that you can come from a place of truly living in courage. And that comes from a place of love, comes from a place of unconditional love of self and also others. Because when you share this information, you share it with your truth, you share it with compassion, and people will resonate and connect with that. So I hope you found this information to be useful today. If you have any questions or comments about living your courageous truth, please be sure to leave them in the comments below. And I do look forward to hearing what you have to say about this subject as well, because it can be in some ways a controversial subject, but in many ways it's what I believe one of the most important subjects we can ever come across, because the truth will set us free. But like many people say, at first it may piss you off. Thanks for listening, and I do look forward to speaking to you again very soon in another video. And with that, I will say bye for now.